Welcome back to Let's Talk Live. How unprepared for retirement is the average person? Most workers do not have a financial plan. And why is that? Joining us with the answers is Brian D. Beatty of EBW. And we're going to change that because a moment ago we were talking about the worst thing that can happen is going into retirement without a plan.
Right, exactly.
So let's talk about why you describe a retirement as a three-legged stool.
Well, I'd like to take credit for calling it a three-legged stool, but it's a pretty common phraseology in our business. By and large, what you're talking about is Social Security, your benefits provided to you at work, combined with your own personal savings. Usually that's going to build you a sturdy enough stool for you to retire on.
What's the biggest misconception about income when it comes to retirement?
Most folks go into retirement thinking that they can live on significantly less than they made when they were working. And for most folks, that's not true. They actually wind up, so studies have shown that the amount of money that people use from Social Security and part-time work is significantly larger than they perceived they would be living on. They thought they'd have much larger incomes and wouldn't have to work at all.
And that's not, you don't want to be having a part-time job when you get into retirement. You're missing the point of retirement if you have to do that.
I mean, if you're doing it because you want to keep yourself busy, that's one thing, but to do it because, you know, that's what you need to do to make the ends meet, that's probably not the right approach.
Right. All right, let's talk about, for people that are maybe watching at home right now and are questioning this, how much do you need to have saved to be secure in retirement? What should the plan be?
So it's different for each person, but what I'll tell you is that the studies that Transamerica have done recently said that the average individual thinks, or the median answer is that they'll need $500,000 to retire on. Seems like a very large number, but if you do simple back of the napkin math, that would only give you about $15,000 to $17,000 a year of sustainable income. So it depends what your lifestyle is like, but it's not inconceivable that it should be seven figures, maybe even multiple seven figures.
Wow. You know, let's talk about education. How many people are actually educated about retirement? They think, I'm putting it in my 401k, that should be enough.
Well, there was a study, the same study actually referenced the number of individuals who want education and who would like to get advice, and it was about 2/3 of all of the actual respondents agreed, but only about half of that actually seek advice or work with an advisor, which is a staggering statistic when you think about it. I think it has a lot to do with a lack of trust in the industry. You know, across the board right now, people are having a difficult time trusting lots of folks.
Sure. Well, is it too just the whole thing of like, I don't need somebody to tell me what to do with my money?
Well, there's some of it is accountability.
Right.
None of us want to be told what we're doing is wrong.
Right.
None of us want to be called out. But this is something where it's too late to think about it after you've retired because you normally can't go back into the workplace. So it's something you should seek advice for.
Where can people go to learn more about retirement? You've got some seminars coming up as well.
Yes, so there are a lot of really good workshops that you can attend. Many of them ask for a nominal fee to take the class. What I would suggest folks do is if you're going to take a class like that, look for a CFP professional or someone who will act as a fiduciary, and you can get them in your workplace. We do Fed seminars. We also do seminars in the evenings held at local high schools. So we've got 3 locations going on in the middle of October at 3 different schools, and there's more information about that on our website. But I would suggest that you find out whether the individual sells products. How do they get compensated? Because they could be biased based on the type of investments and how they get paid.
Is it ever too late to get started?
Never.
Never.
In fact, if you haven't started, make today the day you start.
And it's that simple.
Well, it's not simple, but it's easy.
But at least getting started is simple.
That's true.
Making the call. All right, ebwllc.com for more information right now. We thank you so much for coming in. Always great to see you, Brian.
Thank you.
Appreciate your
Appreciate
time.
it.
Thank you.